Alrighty, guys. My name is Anthony Scarpula from Cryptocurrency Investing, and today I'm here with several team members from BlockFood. BlockFood is the first project from the Open Sharing Economy Foundation with the ultimate goal of freeing up the food delivery market from corporations dictating their law. BlockFood is also a nonprofit project that will create a platform dedicated to help customers ordering food from a restaurant and have it delivered at home in a fairer way. So thank you guys all for being here. If you just want to go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Thanks. Hello, Anthony. It's very nice to have you in an interview. My name is Conrad Lelubre. I'm the founder of BlockFood, and I'm a software engineer. I worked in the industry, the software industry for 10 years, and now I'm creating this project with a lot of people I know. And I want to bring a real change in the food delivery industry. And that's why I'm here.
Awesome.
I'm David Twigger. I'm a freelance developer. I've known Conrad for 5 years now. I'm on the BlockFood project. I'm the technical lead. That's it.
And I'm Julien Leroy. I'm working as an advisor. I quit my job to dedicate all my time to the project. I have 10 years of experience in logistics, transportation, and project management. I worked in several companies like Amazon, Spartoo.com, Hewlett-Packard, and a different cycle brand, as I'm passionate about biking, urban, race, travel, and mountain biking. And fun fact, we've known Conrad and I for 7 years now, and we travel a lot with our bicycle through France, Italy, Spain, and many more to come.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds great. I personally haven't made it over to Europe or any of those countries yet, but I'm itching to get out of America.
Yeah, you should. It's awesome here. Welcome.
Yeah. You guys are based out of France, correct?
Yeah,
cool.
in the Alps mountains.
Mm-hmm. Nice. That's awesome. Well, let's just dive right in, guys. So, to start off, obviously I gave a brief introduction to BlockFood, but in your own words, what is BlockFood and what inspired you guys to create it?
Well, I think you made a very, very good introduction of BlockFood. It's exactly what you said about the way we want to bring change to this industry. And this inspiration came to me during the last year when, I saw that there was a growing dissatisfaction from the customers and the service providers of those platforms. I have seen couriers going on strike to fight against the work conditions and the way those companies take unilateral decisions that impact the lives of the couriers. And there was this problem, this issue, and at the same time, there was this awesome, crypto tide. The fact that so many projects gets funded, and I've seen, awesome projects, and I've seen some real shitty projects that are just straightforward scams. And I thought to myself, could we create change using an altruistic approach and fund this idea using the community through cryptocurrencies? And well, that's it. That's how BlockFood was born. And this is really I set myself on the path to create a truly mutually beneficial, platform that is mutually beneficial for all actors of this market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I so love the values of the project that I quit my job to come here full time. So yeah.
Yeah, that was something that I didn't know it was going to happen. But this idea is so powerful, so right, that people love this idea, and they decided to join me on the team, and it was so easy, to share the values that are behind this idea. And I think that's really very, really great about BlockFood, is that the idea is selling itself. When you talk to restaurants or to couriers or even to customers, they instantly understand what we are going to do and what we're about, because they know that the current platforms are not that fair about the lives of couriers and restaurants. And well, it's like when we talk to couriers, they say, we are waiting for you. Where are you? We are waiting for you. And this is not like me saying bullshit. This is the real truth. And well, we are eager to have the means to create this project because the world is waiting for us.
Awesome. Yeah. So, I mean, to backtrack just a little bit, right? You mentioned the altruistic foundations of your company that it's built upon, right? So you're obviously a nonprofit, and then this is the first project within the Open Sharing Economy Foundation. So I'm curious if you could just dive into what the foundation is and, you know, what made you guys want to lean in the nonprofit direction for the company?
You know, there is two things. We wanted to create a structure that was able to do something more than just one simple project. BlockFood is one project, but its model can be applied to many more projects. So we didn't want to restrict ourselves to only one project. And creating the Open Sharing Economy Foundation and having this foundation being the structure that handles the project management and that leads the way the project is managed. This was a way of saying we want to do more, but we want to do something that is real first. We want to prove that we are capable of doing one thing, and we want to be focused. We want to do one thing and do it right. We should do everything at the same time. It's the perfect recipe for failure. And so this is what the Open Sharing Economy Foundation is about. But why did we go on the non-profit path? This is, I think, an interesting question. You know, being non-profit doesn't mean that we are going to be free or we don't. This is going being non-profit means that every bit of profit that we generate from the transaction, the commission on transaction, every profit will be re-injected into the project. And that is what we wanted to show using a structure that is non-profit. We wanted to show that the structural, the structure that will handle the funding cannot be hacked, cannot be how do you say the name?
It can be trusted. It really is.
We wanted to prove that we are not liars and we don't want to take the money from the people and put it in our pockets and just leave. And so that's basically the reason why we chose to go down this path of being non-profit through the Open Sharing Economy Foundation.
Cool.
We don't want to be millionaire. We want to create something big,
meaningful.
And meaningful. That's what leads Open Sharing Economy Foundation.
Awesome. And, you know, I'm sure down the line, are you going to have a handful of other similar projects come out, you know, within the following years, post BlockFood, right?
Sorry, what was the question? So
within the foundation itself, BlockFood is the first of many projects, right, in the future?
Yeah, exactly. I think one thing that is great about this structure is that we're going to have ways to make secured and transparent voting, so the people will be able to vote. So what you guys want us to do next? You love the BlockFood idea, you love the BlockFood model. Okay, we are ready to go to the next level. So community, please tell us, what do you want? And I think that's the way we should handle our future.
Yeah, that's great. It reminds me of District OX a little bit in terms of the voting, but yeah. Anyways, let's keep the focus on BlockFood here. So, you know, I know you sort of touched on this, but why does the food service industry and the sharing economy right now need something like BlockFood, and what separates you guys from the Postmate or DoorDashes of the world?
Okay, so the main thing that is different is that our model brings fairness into the exchange. This is the main thing.
Yeah, I think it really allows, it empowers the users being restaurants, being couriers, people who really do the work. They reap the most benefit out of it.
Yeah, we think they should own the tools that allows them to work, and that's what we're about.
And it's a community-based project. We want to create a large community around the project where everyone takes part in the decision-making process. So that's, I think, the three main points. And another one, we chose the food delivery market to begin because it's a very lucrative market, estimated at $90 billion in 2019. So it will be easier to begin with this industry in waiting for other projects to the Open Sharing Economy Foundation.
Cool. So, I mean, within that too, like, what do you guys feel is broken about the current on-demand food service industry?
Well, the main thing is the working conditions of the service providers, the couriers, and the restaurants. Mm-hmm. That is what is broken. You know, they show actually no empathy in the way they treat the couriers and the restaurants. They take unilateral decisions, and everyone must abide, must accept, and you don't have a word. And I think that's what is broken in this industry. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's the middleman has all the power, basically. The people that really do all the work, they at the moment they have to cut in the margins to pay for all this for the current platforms and everything. So I think our solution will really lower costs for everyone and provide a better service for everyone, basically.
Yeah, and they are just only profit-driven companies, mm-hmm. Totally different from what we are.
Just what drives us is not the profits, because yes, we need to make some profit to make the platform work. But what drives us is the ethical values behind the work that's being done, mm-hmm. and that's completely different focus. And also, yeah, the current platforms, they take advantage of their position, the dominant position. They impose their vision, and that is wrong.
Great. Yeah. No, I totally agree. Yeah, the whole industry is definitely ready for some change, and I'm glad to see you guys tackling it. So to dive into a bit more specifics regarding the platform, I saw online that you have something called courier cooperatives, which are essentially kind of structures that allow them to exist as a group instead of just individuals, which I thought was really interesting. So I'm curious, could you just talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, with pleasure. We spoke with a lot of couriers, and one thing we understood that they are in their structure, in their current platforms, they are alone against the system. And even if they work together, they're still alone. And we wanted to create something that allows the couriers to have more power and to create a better balance of power in the platform between every actors of the platform. So yeah, the cooperative is a way for couriers to group themselves and to have a common strategy about how to do things. And they will have they will have a part of the power of the platform. They will have the possibility to take decisions, and this is something that is missing currently in the way couriers work in the platform.
Cool. So would it sort of be like a local meetup of all the local couriers, and then they would discuss things that they like, dislike, and then suggest changes possibly back to you guys?
Yeah, exactly. And instead of being just one guy, it would be a team of guys or girls. We will really look into what they have to say, and they will have the power, and we will be they're servants, and that's what we want to create, basically.
Cool, awesome.
Yeah, I wanted to just add something. We spoke with several couriers, as I just said, and there is some advantages that we're going to implement in our platform. It's not written right now on our papers, but you know, we share our ideas to people, and they bring more ideas and better ideas. And there is something that is not done currently, and that we want to work on, is when a courier, you know, is sent at the end of the town. Right now on those platforms, there is nothing that tells him where to go back. You know, even on Uber, it's when the driver drives, when he has finished, there is nothing that tells him go there. There will be more chance for you to get another run, and so this is something that we want to create. Also, the courier will know where to go next, waiting for a new order. And also, I'm not sure if it's possible, we'll do it. But if this, move from the courier, if we are able to pay for this using the platform itself, so BlockFood will pay the courier to go back where they have a chance to have an order. I think that would be really great for this, the couriers and the community of the couriers.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, personally, I drove for Lyft for a little bit a couple of years ago, so I understand exactly that problem. You know, you might have to drive 40 minutes and then you drop the person off, and then you might have to drive 40 minutes back, and then what? So I think that's a great idea. If you're to have like a queue almost, you know, while you're finishing one order, you know you have one waiting for you, and then you just keep flowing with it instead of, you know, having a half hour, 40-minute gap or whatever it may be. Yeah, that's a cool idea. So moving on. So another thing I pulled off your website that I saw that I found was pretty interesting. I'm just going to read this quote and then just ask for, you know, you to explain it more. But it said, while the BlockFood platform will provide a complete user experience, it's an open model that will allow third parties to create applications using the BlockFood infrastructure. So I was curious about what kind of apps you'll envision people creating, you know, on the platform potentially.
Yeah, I think the limit will be more or less the imagination of people's imagination. Some ideas that we had were maybe specific local versions of the platform. Have one that delivers around New York, for example, and something like that.
Yeah, so some interface that will be dedicated to specific diets, like vegetarian, I don't know, halal, kasher, anything. And well, I mean, it will allow developers to create an interface that is customized and that solves a particular issue. And so, yeah, for this particular point, we are going to organize a contest. I'm not sure when, I think it's 1 year and a half on our roadmap. And this contest is about showing an giving an incentive to create an interface that solves the problem. And well, we hope this contest will allow more people to come in the BlockFood community and create something meaningful. And on this, opening of the platform, how it's open, there is also another part. So people will have the possibility to create specific interfaces using the BlockFood platform and BlockFood database. But we are also teaming up with teams that are actually doing food delivery right now. We are in contact with a company in the Netherlands, and they want to use BlockFood as a backend for the platform. And so we will also create this door. We'll be able to use BlockFood as a backend of any delivery platform, food delivery platform. And I think this is great. This is great to multiply the entry points on BlockFood. This is a way to show that we can make many things, that our boundaries are not closed.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. I think I also saw that you're going to allow companies or restaurants to have like BlockFood kind of built in right into their menus or on their websites too?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's something that when a restaurant wants to bring his business offline to online, they have several solutions. And you know, when you go into a current platform, you don't have the right to have something on your website that would, I don't know, bypass the platform where you are. You have to redirect people to the platform. And we want to create something that indeed restaurants can integrate directly on their website. And it would be for them like an instant connection between the customers and their food. And really easy to set it up, and we want to make things like very seamless, and that I think it's important also. That's another entry point for BlockFood.
Right, awesome. Cool, so another question I had is, obviously you have your own native token, I think it's BFT, and will the BFT token be the main means of transacting on the app, or will you accept like Ethereum or fiat or anything else, or is it just going to be the BlockFood token?
When we are in a state of cryptocurrency adoption that is not, it's not enough right now. So if we had to restrict to customers that only know cryptocurrencies and that have a wallet and that know how to create a transaction, use a smart contract, we would cut ourselves from too many people. We have, and it's an obligation. We don't like it because we would prefer a world without it. But we need to have a door for every person. Anybody can come with a credit card using fiat currency and pay on fiat currency, which are instantly converted into BFT, BlockFood tokens. And because the BlockFood tokens, this is the currency used on the platform.
Right. So the main utility of the BlockFood token is essentially to transact, right, within the platform itself?
Yeah, basically that's the main goal, but it's also a way to use our platform. So yeah, you pay, but you also use the smart contracts. Smart contracts will only work with BlockFood tokens. And since the BlockFood tokens is an ERC20 token, we'll use the strength of Ethereum to create a voting mechanism. So make a voting mechanism that is secured and transparent. We will not be able to lie about decisions taken from the community. BlockFood token holders, they will be able to take the wheel of the governance.
The community-based project.
Yeah, community.
So to backtrack just a little bit, right? So let's talk about how the smart contracts come into play here. If you could just walk us through kind of, what happens. Say I'm a user using the app. I just ordered some food, right? Walk me through the process of how this all unfolds.
Yeah, so basically when you create an order, you have selected a restaurant, you have selected some items from the restaurant, exactly the food you want. But there is also, your personal information, your address, your name, your phone number, and that we can't put in the blockchain. We don't want to be transparent, otherwise people will have the address and the information of everyone. So basically, the smart contract is used as a way to create the order and track its progression until the end. And basically, when you have selected your restaurant, your menu items, you say, okay, now I want it. It creates a smart contract. And this smart contract raises an event that is caught by the restaurant. And so the restaurant has another interface, and he knows exactly what he should do. But in the smart contract itself, it doesn't have the personal information of the person. This is one of our point of centralization. We have some centralization in our project. Currently, the personal information, until we find a way to decentralize it and to make it really secured, I don't know, maybe IPFS, Civic, I don't know. We have solutions, but right now, the way we see it, we will hold this information. A smart contract will connect in a secured way the restaurant to this information, or the couriers, in fact, to the information required for the order. So yeah, basically it runs down like this. The restaurant receives an event. He knows what he has to do. He prepares it. He calls another function of the smart contract. And then there's another event saying to the courier that the order is ready. He comes, he takes the order, he calls the function of the smart contract saying, I took the order. Then he brings the order to the customer, and then there is a final function that is called saying, okay, everything is correct, everything is done, and now is the time to finalize the order. And when the order is finalized, that's when the BlockFood token are redistributed to the couriers, the courier, the restaurant, and also to BlockFood in a very very small fee, and also the BlockFood ambassador, which is an important mechanism of our vision. And I think that's it. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, tell me a bit more about the BlockFood ambassador, what role they play.
We wanted to create something, as we say, I think many times, that is community-based. And one thing about community and business development is that they are rarely mixed together. And we wanted to create this. So anyone in the world, they can take their restaurant, their favorite restaurant, their city, and explore this city and recommend those restaurants to the platform. Help the restaurants, which are often not savvy in tech. They don't like technology. Well, we know from experience that they have issues with technology. And they will help them get online, get to the platform, use their equipment correctly, advertise their items. And so in exchange for this, the ambassador, the BlockFood ambassador, he gets a fixed percentage on each transaction that flows through the restaurant. And it's a way to instantly have a community-based business development. And we really believe in this aspect of the model.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that idea. That's really neat. So is there going to be like an application process to become an ambassador, or how does that work exactly?
That's a great question. Right now, we have the basic concept.
Mm-hmm.
We know we want to do this, but we didn't dive into details on how exactly we're going to do it. That's the reason behind, on our roadmap, we don't promise that we are going to deliver the BlockFood final application like in 6 months, because it doesn't make sense. This is a process that we're going to take some time. We're going to make an alpha program, a beta program, and then we will go to the end, a global launch. But during this alpha and this beta, we will find exactly how we are going to do every aspect, every small details that make the difference. We will find solutions in the process. David and I, we worked in a company, and we are software engineers both, and we are problem solvers. So we are not afraid of any issue in the future. I mean, we know that we are going to be able to solve those. But yeah, we're still in the early stage, and we have ideas, but we don't have the exact details on how it's going to work.
Right. Fair enough. Yeah. No, I mean, I love to see companies that are, you guys aren't rushing the product out there. You're taking your time with it, and you want to do it right and build it right. So that's great. So another question I had too is, with the launch, which is a few months down the line, are you guys going to target certain geographical locations in terms of the launch?
The first thing we are going to look for is areas where there is no legal obstacle. We want to go to a place where the legislation is easy for us, because this is also another obstacle of our project. We're going to have to work on each local legislation to make sure that we are correctly doing what we do. And so what we are going to do is select locations, so maybe, 5 or 10, and then there will be a voting mechanism using the BlockFood tokens. that will allow the community to select where we're going to start. It could be in Moscow, it could be in London, it could be in Lyon, New York. I don't know, we don't know, but we're going to follow the community. Is
I'm just trying to get a picture. So say in theory, people vote for London to be like the first place to launch, right? Is there like an ideal number of ambassadors that you would want or need in order to, be the men or women on the ground and going to the restaurants to try and, help them set up the system and all that? Or would you guys also do some outreach yourselves to different companies or restaurants?
Yeah, for those first, the alpha and the beta program, the role of the ambassador will not be the most important. We will have to do some outreach. We will have to do on the ground, explain, getting things started. This is the role more for the final phase when the product is actually launched on worldwide.
Right, cool. So with that in mind, can you tell us a bit more about, your roadmap? Obviously, you guys are undergoing the pre-sale right now and the public sales, I believe, in March. So if you want to just share more about that, and then just, down the line, what the rollout looks like.
Yeah, so basically right now, we are indeed in a pre-sale that will last 1 month, and we have a token sale in March that will last 5 weeks. And after this, we will launch an alpha program, then a beta program, and we'll build every step of the way, and there is something about software engineering that is always true. You can't plan everything. You can't plan all the details, and we know that from experience. So yes, we have a roadmap, but even its content, it depends on many things. It depends on how much money we raised, and many things that we cannot see before. So yes, basically we wrote a path on how we want to get out there, but we know for sure that it's difficult to know the future, right? So we know where we want to go, we know how we want to go there, and basically that's it.
Cool. So, with that in mind, talking about the ICO more specifically, is there a minimum contribution or any bonuses going on right now people should know about?
Yeah, that's a great question. Since we are in a very early stage, we only have an idea right now where we give a big bonus during the pre-sale, because those early investors, early participants, we need them. So we wanted to reward those participants. So right now you have a 50%, a plus 50% bonus on BlockFood tokens. So right now it's the best time to help this idea, to help us create a better version of the sharing economy, and to have more BlockFood tokens.
Awesome. Great. Well, I feel pretty complete on my end. Is there anything else you feel like you guys want to share and get out there as we wrap up here now?
Yeah, we are going to work on a demonstration showing, just a demo version of BlockFood. There will not be real delivery behind, but you will be able to see what we're able to do with smart contracts using the Ethereum testnet, and to show that what we are capable of. Because I've read something on a website that was talking about BlockFood, saying, well, they don't have any smart contracts developers, and so in consequence they must plan to outsource their smart contracts developments. But that's not the case. We wrote, and you can check this on GitHub. We wrote the smart contracts we are currently using ourselves, and so yeah, the demo will prove this.
Nice. And then any social media links people could find you at? Telegram, Facebook, I'm sure.
Yeah, we have a community that is growing right now. There are two main communities on Telegram. Join us on Telegram at BlockFood, and on Twitter, BlockFood. BlockFood everywhere.
Awesome, guys. Well, yeah, thanks so much for your time. Really looking forward to seeing the project grow and, you know, in the future, what the open sharing economy brings as well. So once again, my name is Anthony Scarpula, and we just spoke with Conrad Lelubre, David Twigger, and Julien Leroy, all from BlockFood. So thank you guys for your time. There we go.
Thanks.
Thanks, Anthony. Thank you very much.
Cool.